Imagine this. You're about to board the cruise of a lifetime, excitement building as you approach the check-in counter. You've double-checked your bags, packed everything from sunscreen to your favorite Bluetooth speaker, and are ready to start the vacation you've been dreaming about. But then, disaster strikes at security. They stop you, your speaker is confiscated, your power strip is banned, and your carefully packed snacks are off-limits. The disappointment hits hard. You start to wonder, what else could possibly be banned? What if I told you that not only are these items on the banned list, but cruise lines are also cracking down on something you never expected? Imagine trying to sneak your camera drone aboard for those stunning ocean shots, only to find it confiscated because it's now banned for causing interference with navigational systems. Suddenly, what seemed like a relaxing trip has turned into a nightmare of unexpected restrictions. Keep watching because you're not going to believe what's next. So buckle up, because today we're diving into 21 surprising new things cruise lines were forced to ban, including one that's bound to shock you. Trust me, you won't believe it until you hear it. And before we dive in, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't be the person who regrets not subscribing when you're left out of the loop. You're not going to want to miss this. If you don't subscribe now, well, you'll probably be the one stuck at security trying to figure out why you're not allowed to bring your favorite item on board. Number 1. Bluetooth speakers. The sound of silence. Let's start with something that seems so innocent, Bluetooth speakers. If you're thinking of bringing your own personal speaker for that private balcony dance party, think again. While most cruise lines have always had a don't disturb others policy, some lines are going a step further. Carnival, for instance, has officially banned Bluetooth speakers and boom boxes. Yes, you read that right, no more blasting your playlist in your cabin, or even on the deck. But the real shocker? Royal Caribbean now bans Bluetooth speakers at their private island. Perfect day at Coco Cay. If you were hoping to have your tunes as you lounge on the beach, this one will definitely kill the vibe. Number 2. Surge-protected power strips. Surge-protected power strips are a staple for many of us, helping to charge multiple devices while protecting them from potential electrical surges. However, if you're heading on a cruise, you may want to rethink packing that power strip. Cruise lines, including Royal Caribbean, have banned surge-protected power strips due to safety concerns, particularly the risk of fires. These devices are considered a potential fire hazard on board, and the rules are becoming stricter, with even non-surge-protected power strips now being prohibited. Royal Caribbean, for instance, has recently updated its policy to ensure that no power strips are allowed, regardless of whether they have surge protection. It's a disappointment for many, as these power strips are a lifesaver when you need to charge several devices at once. So what's the solution? If you're cruising with Royal Caribbean, you can still bring a multi-outlet USB holder. This device provides additional charging ports without the safety risks associated with power strips. However, be prepared to leave your traditional power strips behind. The moral of the story? When cruising, it's essential to check the latest guidelines, as what works at home might not be allowed on board. 3. Extension cords. No room for extra length. Extension cords used to be a convenient way to add extra length for charging devices on a cruise. However, most cruise lines now ban or strongly discourage bringing them on board due to safety concerns. These cords are seen as potential trip hazards and fire risks in the limited space of a cruise cabin. But here's the twist. If you're a CPAP user, don't worry. Many cruise lines offer special permission for you to bring an extension cord if you notify them in advance. It's best to contact the cruise line ahead of time to get approval or request assistance with your setup. For everyone else, though, it's time to rethink your plans. Without an extension cord, you'll need to make do with the outlets provided in your cabin. It's always a good idea to pack light and plan ahead, so you're not left scrambling at the last minute. If you're not subscribed yet, you might miss out on the next big tip that'll save your trip. Don't be the one scrambling last minute for answers. Hit that button now. Still not convinced? Then, feel free to drop a comment below lamenting why you didn't subscribe earlier. You'll be wishing you had when you're stuck without the knowledge you need. Number 4. Wi-Fi routers and Starlink minis. In today's digital world, staying connected is a priority. But if you thought you could bypass expensive onboard Wi-Fi fees with a personal Wi-Fi router or Starlink mini, think again. Cruise lines have recently banned these devices for a crucial reason. They can interfere with the ship's navigational systems. While these gadgets are convenient for getting your own internet connection, they pose a security risk that cruise lines can't afford. If you were hoping to get around the ship's pricey Wi-Fi options by using your own equipment, this new rule is a disappointing setback. You'll need to rely on the ship's Wi-Fi service instead, even if it's costly or spotty. Before packing your router or Starlink Mini for your cruise, make sure to check your cruise line's updated policies. With these devices banned, it's better to know the rules in advance to avoid unnecessary hassles at embarkation. Number 5. Baby monitors. Off the list for now. Baby monitors were once banned by many cruise lines due to concerns over interference with the ship's communication systems. However, there's good news for parents cruising with young children. Royal Caribbean has recently removed baby monitors from their prohibited items list, meaning you can now bring them on board. This change is a relief for many families, as it allows parents to monitor their little ones more easily while enjoying some downtime. However, before packing your baby monitor, it's still important to double-check with your specific cruise line. Policies can vary, and some may still restrict certain devices. While this update is great news for parents, it's always a good idea to confirm the latest rules to avoid surprises at embarkation. If you're cruising with babies or toddlers, the peace of mind that comes with having a baby monitor can make your trip much smoother. 6. Gaming consoles. Game over. Gaming is a popular pastime for many, even on vacation. However, if you were hoping to bring your gaming console on board a cruise, you may be out of luck. Several cruise lines have now officially banned gaming consoles. While Carnival has disabled HDMI ports on their ships to prevent passengers from connecting their own systems, other lines have gone a step further by banning consoles entirely. This rule is disappointing for avid gamers who hoped to enjoy their favorite games while at sea. Cruise lines argue that this move is to maintain the onboard entertainment focus and ensure that passengers enjoy the various activities provided on the ship. If gaming is an essential part of your vacation plans, it's a good idea to double-check your cruise line's policies before packing your console. You may need to make other entertainment arrangements or prepare for more traditional cruise activities. Number 7. Weapons and ammunition. A no-go. It should go without saying, weapons and ammunition are strictly prohibited on cruise ships. However, believe it or not, there have been shocking instances where passengers attempted to sneak weapons aboard. Whether it's for self-defense or some other reason, cruise security takes these violations very seriously. In recent years, cruise lines have ramped up their security measures, conducting thorough checks to ensure that no prohibited items make it on board. In some extreme cases, passengers have been arrested at ports of call for attempting to bring weapons or ammunition with them. To avoid any serious trouble, always double-check the cruise line's policy on prohibited items before packing. It's not worth risking your vacation or your freedom by ignoring these important rules. Stay safe, stay informed, and leave the weapons at home. Number 8. Personal heating devices. No hot stuff. Personal heating devices like electric blankets, portable heaters, and clothes steamers are banned on cruise ships, and for good reason, fire hazards. While it might seem comforting to bring an electric blanket for extra warmth or a portable heater to control the cabin temperature, these devices pose a significant risk. In the tight quarters of a cruise cabin, the potential for a fire to start is higher, and cruise ships cannot afford to take that chance. To ensure the safety of all passengers, cruise lines have a strict no-tolerance policy when it comes to personal heating devices. If you're used to traveling with these items, it's time to leave them at home. Stick with alternatives like layering clothes or using the ship's provided blankets. It's always better to be safe than sorry when it comes to fire safety. Still not subscribed? You're risking it. With all these updates and surprises, do you really want to be caught off guard on your next cruise? You don't have time to waste. Hit that subscribe button now and thank me later for all the hassle you'll avoid. If you're not convinced, go ahead and comment about your decision. You'll be thinking twice when it's too late. Number 9. Walkie-talkies out of range. Walkie-talkies used to be a popular communication tool for cruise passengers, especially when trying to stay in touch with family or friends on board. However, with the rise of cell phones and cruise line apps, walkie-talkies have become mostly obsolete. While some cruise lines still allow them, many no longer do, citing interference with the ship's communication systems. Norwegian Cruise Line, for example, has a strict no walkie-talkie policy, as these devices can disrupt the ship's internal communications. This rule helps ensure smooth operation and safety for all passengers and crew. If you are planning to rely on walkie-talkies for communication on your cruise, it's best to use the cruise line's app or connect through Wi-Fi to stay in touch. Check your cruise line's policy beforehand to avoid any issues with packing prohibited items. 10. Homemade and perishable food, a recipe for disaster. If you're considering bringing homemade muffins, cookies, or any other perishable food on board, think again. Cruise lines have strict policies against bringing homemade and perishable food due to health and safety concerns. While packaged snacks like candy or chocolate are fine, homemade items pose a risk of foodborne illnesses that could lead to sickness outbreaks among passengers. Even if you're just planning to bring something for your cabin, it's best to avoid anything that could spoil. Cruise ships have to maintain strict hygiene standards, and allowing perishable food can complicate that effort. To ensure a smooth boarding process, stick to pre-packaged snacks or non-perishable items. This will not only keep you safe, but also prevent any unwanted surprises during security checks. It's always better to err on the side of caution when it comes to food on a cruise. 11. Hard alcohol. Breaking the rules even if you try. Many cruisers have tried to sneak alcohol aboard, whether hidden in shampoo bottles or tucked away in luggage. But cruise lines are cracking down harder than ever on this practice. Social media hacks have brought these sneaky tricks to the spotlight, and cruise security is wise to them now. If you think you can bypass the rules and sneak in your favorite bottle of spirit, think again. The consequences are steep. If you're caught, your alcohol will be confiscated, and you could even face being banned from the ship. It's not worth risking your entire vacation over a drink. Cruise lines have a strict no-alcohol policy for a reason, and they're taking it more seriously than ever. To avoid problems, follow the rules and either purchase alcohol on board or enjoy the drinks available at the bars. The last thing you want is a vacation cut short due to a mistake at security. Number 12. Balloon decorations. No hot air. Planning a birthday celebration or a special surprise on your cruise. Balloons might not be the best option. Cruise lines have recently banned balloons for safety reasons, particularly in crowded areas where they could cause blockages or pose a risk during an emergency. While this might be a disappointment if you were hoping for a big balloon display, it's important to prioritize safety. But don't worry, you can still decorate your cabin or door with alternatives. Consider using paper streamers, banners, or even non-inflatable decorations to create a festive atmosphere. These options are just as fun and far more cruise-friendly. Before you pack any decorations, be sure to check with your cruise line for their specific rules. Keeping safety in mind while still celebrating will ensure your special occasion goes off without a hitch, without the risk of balloons popping up at the wrong time. 13. Curtain dividers. No DIY cabin changes. In the past, some families would bring their own curtains or shower curtains to divide their cruise cabin into separate spaces. It was a clever way to create more privacy, especially in smaller rooms. However, Carnival Cruise Line, along with other cruise lines, has now banned these DIY room dividers for safety reasons. The concern? These makeshift dividers can obstruct escape routes in case of an emergency, or they may block air vents and fire exits. So, if you were planning on bringing a shower curtain or similar item to divide the cabin, it's time to rethink your plans. You'll need to make do with the cabin's existing setup. Be sure to plan accordingly, especially if you're traveling with family or in a group. It's a good idea to check your cruise line's policies beforehand to avoid any surprises at embarkation. Number 14. Camouflage clothing. Watch out for the law. If you're thinking about packing your camouflage clothing for a cruise, be careful. Some cruise ports, such as Jamaica and Barbados, have strict laws that prohibit wearing camo gear. The reason? Camouflage is often associated with military uniforms, and in some countries, only authorized personnel are allowed to wear it. If you try to wear camo in these restricted areas, you could face hefty fines or even be arrested. It's a surprising rule that many travelers overlook, but it's important to avoid any trouble while exploring new destinations. Before you pack, double-check the dress code for each of your ports of call. It's always better to be prepared and avoid wearing anything that could raise a red flag. Stick with neutral or vibrant colors to ensure you don't run into any legal issues during your trip. 15. Oversized pool floaties. Not so floaty after all. If you were planning to bring your giant inflatable flamingo or oversized pool floatie on your cruise, think again. Cruise ship pools are generally small, and these large floaties take up valuable space, which is why most cruise lines have now banned them. While they might look fun, they can create overcrowded and unsafe conditions in the pool area. But don't worry, you can still use your oversized floaties at private islands or beach ports where there's more room to relax and float. Just be sure to check the rules for your specific cruise line and destinations to avoid any surprises at embarkation. To avoid disappointment, consider packing smaller, more compact floaties or opting for other fun poolside activities. Remember, the goal is to make the most of your cruise while following the ship's guidelines. 16. Reef-harming sunscreen, protecting the oceans. Certain sunscreens are now banned on cruise ships due to their harmful effects on coral reefs. Ingredients like oxybenzone and octinoxate, commonly found in traditional sunscreens, have been shown to contribute to coral bleaching and damage marine life. If you're visiting eco-sensitive areas like Aruba, Hawaii, or the U.S. Virgin Islands, it's essential to pack reef-safe sunscreen. Reef-safe sunscreens use mineral-based ingredients like zinc oxide or titanium dioxide, which are less harmful to the environment. Not only is this better for the oceans, but it will also help you avoid potential fines for using prohibited sunscreen while on excursions. To protect the environment and follow regulations, make sure you read sunscreen labels carefully before your trip. It's a small change that can make a big difference in preserving our planet's precious marine ecosystems. Number 17. CBD and cannabis products. Not on board. Despite the growing legalization of CBD and cannabis in various states, these products are still banned on cruise ships. Whether it's CBD oils, gummies, or any cannabis-related products, you won't be allowed to bring them on board. Even if it's legal where you're from, cruise lines enforce this rule strictly. Cruise security takes this policy seriously, and attempting to sneak in CBD or cannabis products could lead to severe consequences, including being kicked off the ship or facing legal trouble at port. To avoid issues, it's best to leave these items at home. Stick with cruise-approved items and enjoy your trip without the risk of encountering trouble. Make sure to check the cruise line's prohibited items list before you board, so you're fully aware of the rules and can have a smooth, stress-free vacation. Number 18. Drones, no flying literally. While you can bring a drone on some cruise lines, you won't be able to fly it. Carnival and Royal Caribbean allow drones to be stored in your stateroom, but they strictly prohibit flying them on board due to safety and privacy concerns. Disney Cruise Line, on the other hand, outright bans drones entirely. If you're hoping to capture stunning aerial footage of your cruise, you'll be out of luck, as flying a drone on the ship is simply not permitted. Before you pack your drone, it's crucial to check your cruise line's specific rules, as policies vary. Some ports of call may also have their own regulations regarding drones. To avoid disappointment, always double-check the rules to ensure you won't be caught off guard by unexpected restrictions during your trip. 19. Candles and open flames. No light the fire. Candles, incense, and anything with an open flame are strictly prohibited on cruise ships, and for good reason, fire hazards. The confined spaces and flammable materials on board make it too risky to allow these items. So, if you were planning to create a cozy ambience in your cabin with a scented candle, it's time to rethink that idea. Cruise lines have a zero-tolerance policy when it comes to flames, as they pose a significant safety risk. This includes decorative candles, incense sticks, and even certain oil burners. Instead of packing your favorite candle, consider bringing battery-operated LED candles or other flameless alternatives. They can still add some ambience to your cabin without the danger. Always check the cruise line's prohibited items list before packing to ensure you're following safety protocols and avoid any unwanted surprises. Number 20. Self-defense items. Pepper spray, brass knuckles, and more. Self-defense items like pepper spray, brass knuckles, and other weapons are strictly prohibited on cruise ships. While it's understandable to want to feel safe, cruise lines have a zero-tolerance policy for anything that could potentially cause harm, even if it's just for personal protection. Despite being on vacation, cruise ships are considered controlled environments where safety is a top priority. These items pose a threat to both passengers and crew members, so they're not allowed on board. If you're concerned about safety, consider other options like staying aware of your surroundings or carrying a whistle or personal alarm, which are allowed. Always double-check your cruise line's prohibited items list to ensure you're not carrying anything that could get confiscated or cause issues at security. Stick to the rules for a smooth and enjoyable vacation. 21. Personal air fresheners. Keep it fresh, but not that fresh. Personal air fresheners, particularly aerosol sprays, are banned on cruise ships due to safety concerns. These products contain chemicals that can be deemed hazardous materials, posing a fire risk or triggering allergies among passengers. While you can bring other personal care items like body sprays or perfumes, air fresheners in aerosol cans are strictly prohibited. Cruise lines take air quality and safety seriously, so it's essential to leave these items at home. Instead, consider bringing a small, non-aerosol air freshener like a gel or wick diffuser that doesn't contain harmful chemicals or pressurized gases. Before packing, always check your cruise line's prohibited items list to ensure you're following the rules. Avoid bringing anything that could potentially cause problems at security, ensuring a smooth and worry-free embarkation process. Stay fresh without the risk. Now, here's the twist that's going to blow your mind. While cruise lines are banning items left and right, they're also increasingly banning something even more shocking. Personal drones and Wi-Fi routers were only the start of a new era of privacy concerns. That's right, cruise lines are now using cutting-edge surveillance technology on board. And it's not just about the items you pack anymore. Cruise ships have started employing systems to monitor what you're doing, where you're going, and who you're talking to. Imagine your personal space being monitored in ways you never expected. It's all part of the new age of cruise security. So, there you have it, 21 surprising new things cruise lines were forced to ban. Some of these may seem a little excessive, but remember, they're all in place to keep everyone safe, secure, and comfortable. The rules may change, but one thing's for sure. Packing smart is the key to avoiding any unexpected surprises at security. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss another insider tip.